in playoff position. Will it be Dartmouth or Brown? We'll find out next. Taking a look at the Brown Bears, and the overall record is 8-9. Isabella Mauricio, who we just highlighted, is in the starting lineup today. Another player Dartmouth will have to keep an eye on is Grace Arnoley, the junior from Vienna, is at 14.9 a game. She'll be a 1,000-point scorer soon, just like Mauricio.
Absolutely. Arnoley, 7th in the league in scoring.
Page is in the lineup for Dartmouth. First year, Zeynep Ozel has been a terrific contributor. The first-year player from Istanbul, Turkey, has been the floor general for Dartmouth.
It's going to be such a great matchup. We've got Arnoley, who's 7th in the league in scoring, against Victoria Page, who, of course, is 5th in the league in scoring at 16 points a game, had a 29-point performance last week against Yale.
Brown jumped right into a double team on Victoria Page on that opening pass. Who else can score for Dartmouth today? That's always a big question. Page with 4 on the clock. Beat the buzzer, but Arnoley has the rebound for the Bears. Both teams 8-9, 2-2 in Ivy play. Winner today will have 4th place in the league.
And of course, Dartmouth took the first meeting.
For Brown, 5 is Olivia Young. Far side is Arnoley. Nelson making the start today. Drove in and was denied for 15. Beth Nelson, it's her first start of the season for Coach LeBlanc. Yes, down it goes. Dartmouth, Ozel for 3.
Well, I think we saw some other people looking to score, but defensively, that last possession, Claire Meyer with the block, that's going to be key. I think just the height advantage. We've got Moreland for Brown, who plays really tough inside, but they really don't have anyone that can match up with the size of Dartmouth.
Call an offensive foul there on Arnoley. Little push with the ball to create space. It'll be the first team foul. Brown Keys today have not played as well on the road. Arnoley, we talked about 14-9 a game. Turnover battle is always going to be big in a game like this.
Absolutely, and especially because Brown wants to play up-tempo. They want to get steals. They want to force turnovers. That is huge. That's their bread and butter.
Alexandra Eldridge tried the shot. Dartmouth had in position for an offensive rebound, and there's a foul on Brown. Here are the Dartmouth keys to the game today, Coach.
Well, Victoria Page, she has made herself known. Everybody, she has to be limited if Brown's going to win. And again, turnovers for both teams is important. And Dartmouth has to do a better job when they do get to the free throw line of making sure they hit their shots. That was key in the last game against Yale. And when it's a 3-point loss, every point counts.
8:06 left in the first. Dartmouth with the one-made three-pointer will inbound again from underneath their own basket. A tough overhang. Meyer gave it back to Ozel. Meyer had the open look, will dribble inside and can't get it to go. Brown rebound for Moreland. Pick up far corner. Mauricio has it knocked away from behind, and Dartmouth's Ozel forces the turnover. Here she comes. Bounce pass low. And no good on the other end for Austin. Tough break. Into the lane. Brown looking for a foul on the drive. And Arnoley didn't get a call.
But again, the presence of Claire Meyer and that 6'3" and the length really changed the shot there.
Ozel, another one. 2 threes early on for Zeynep Ozel. 6-0.
Coach Semino from Dartmouth was saying she originally recruited Ozel for the shooting guard spot because she's such a great shooter, but also has done a really nice job leading this team and being the starting point guard for every single game.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that before. A point guard that has more assists than turnovers, that's a great stat. I know you did that in your day too. 6:55 left here in the first. Ozel, 2 made three-pointers. Zeynep is now the has now made more three-point field goals than anyone on the team, even more than Victoria Page. So we get a foul whistled again on Brown, and it's a second on Olivia Young. So they'll bring Gia Powell, a freshman from Edmonds, Washington, into the game.
Well, going back to Ozell, she's 8th in the Ivy League in assists at 3 a game, right behind Arnoley. Arnoley is actually 2nd in the league at 4 a game, so both teams really try to get good team play in.
Dartmouth might have been guilty of trying to force the ball inside a little bit too much against Yale. And that one from Ozell in a tough spot for Claire Meyer to try to get it down low. Creates the turnover and gives it back to the Bears. 3.5 minutes in and a 6-0 game. In the lane, Arnoley, no good. Meyer now already has 3 rebounds. And she'll be spelled at times by Doreen Orique. Today, Dartmouth, the rare times they'll be able to use their height advantage. Ozell kicks through. Page. Long rebound out. In the first meeting, there's a big discrepancy among three-point field goals as Mauricio misses this one. Rebound for Brown. And they'll get their first hoop. That's Alyssa Moreland, and it's 6-2. Both teams made 5 3-pointers in the game on January the 4th, but Dartmouth was 5 for 11. Brown was 5 for 29.
Well, how about this stat? Brown averages 28 3-point attempts per game. So we're going to see them let it fly today, and they want to play up-tempo. If they can't get it rim to rim in transition, they're absolutely going to look to kick out and play and shoot a lot of threes.
Claire Meyer got called for an illegal screen. She'll leave, and Kate McDonald, a 6'1 sophomore from Linfield, Mass, into the ball game for Dartmouth. It'll be Brown bringing it up. I don't have to explain the colors, right? Dartmouth is the big green, and Brown is brown. 6'2", here's Powell. Back iron, Dartmouth rebound for Olivia Austin.
One of the keys to the game that we didn't mention earlier, which is, as a coach, you're always thinking about, is the battle of the boards.
Dartmouth will commit their 3rd turnover, 3 turnovers each way. 4:58 left in the first. It's Dartmouth 6 and Brown 2. You're watching the Ivy League on Nesson. Is the head coach, very successful coach at Merrimack. Decided to jump over to the Brown program, played at Bucknell.
That's right. Coach LeBlanc basically took Merrimack from D2 into the D1, their D1 era, and was very successful in that transition period.
Second year for Coach Sim here at Dartmouth, Linda Simino.
Again, longtime head coach, has paid her dues, certainly. She's been at Caldwell College, and then was Binghamton University, St. Francis, New York, as a head coach, successful in each stop along the way.
Dartmouth in the lead, Brown with the basketball. Mauricio denied the drive, so she'll pull up shot, no good. Another rebound for Dartmouth. Good start on the boards for the Big Green today. Yale had a ton of second chance opportunities on Monday. So that's a stat that Coach Simino certainly would like to see drop down.
That's right. And I know they were focused on it because Brown averages 11 offensive boards a game. So that's something they're going to have to look out for.
Grace Arnoley knocks down the 3 for Brown, and it's a 1-point game.
And this is a pace that favors Brown. They want to go play up-tempo, push the ball, and then let it fly. And hopefully they're hitting.
The kick through. Shot spins out for Eldridge. Dartmouth gets the second chance. See if they can make it work. It'll be Eldridge again. No good. Dartmouth fighting amongst themselves for that loose ball, and it caroms over to the Bears. 3:42 left in the first. Brown has not led in this game. And on the drive to the hoop, it won't go for Arnoley, and rebound Eldridge. Both teams 2 for 9 shooting here in this first quarter. 10-minute quarters, foul situation, 3 fouls on Brown, 1 on Dartmouth. Halfway through the clock as Ozell around the screens, dribbles to the end line and traveled with it. Down on the end line. Officials today are Whitney Armstrong, Luke Smith, and Zoe Young. See if, did you pick this up as well?
Maybe a little hop in there, but that was I thought that could go either way.
Nina Minikazi, number 1 into the game for Dartmouth. Nelson on the kick back. Good motion. And with the right hand, shot doesn't go for Mauricio, and a Brown foul in the rebounding action. They've committed a few of them that way here in the early going. That one's on Alyssa Moreland.
Well, they have to crash the boards to get those offensive rebounds and second chance points, and Dartmouth is doing a great job boxing out and keeping them behind. So they're going over the top and pushing, and it gets pretty physical out there.
Olivia Austin is sent over to the trainer's table, and there may be blood on the jersey because they're giving her a 34 jersey to put on. Doreen Arik, meantime, the senior from Nairobi, Kenya, is into the game for Dartmouth. Didn't play the first portion of the season, but now starting to get more and more minutes. Big contributor. Here's Paige. Tough shot, but she knocks it down, the senior from Murfreesboro.
She is one of the best she's got such an amazing mid-range game. She is one of the best in the league at being able to score at all 3 levels.
Nelson for Brown, who also is from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Arnoley in the lane, stripped of the ball. Nice play by Eldridge. She leads the break. Minikazi on the kick through. Paige open in the corner. No good. Fight for the loose ball. Dartmouth comes down with the offensive board. Second chance opportunity. Yes, it's good. Alexandra Eldridge.
And credit Paige on that offensive board for tipping it to McDonald and then being able to reset.
I liked about everything about that possession for Dartmouth. Shot no good. This is Zaima Ofunrin, 33, who just came into the ball game.
And Arik, if you watch this block, that's why she's out there. She is such a presence and is athletic. She's a senior, she's a captain. Coach Sim loves what she brings and is easing her in, coming off of a leg injury. But she gives so much in terms of presence and defensively inside.
Did call foul on Kate McDonald on that play for Dartmouth, their second team foul. Shot doesn't go for Arnoley. Dartmouth up 11-5 with 3 made threes here in the first quarter. Paige looks back towards Coach Sim. 15 on the clock. Paige on the drive and drew the contact.
Gotta love that. Came off the screen, went downhill, and then a nice little floater right here. You could see her go up. 3 players collapse.
Call the foul on Mauricio. And Brown at the limit here with 1:15 to go in the first. Victoria Paige at the line for Dartmouth on the year, 42 out of 56, 75%. Dartmouth is a team shooting just 60.4% from the line coming into today. You want to win games in the Ivy League, in your league play, better make free throws. 13-5, the Dartmouth lead has grown to 8. This is a 7-0 run for Dartmouth. Eldridge will pick up Arnoley out in the D. Works to the right side, comes back to Young. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Arnoley on the kick out. Powell for three. That's off the mark. Doreen Arik with the rebound for Dartmouth.
And I love the Arnoley-Eldridge matchup. I think Coach Sim did a real nice job. Eldridge is a great defender and is really causing Arnoley some problems.
Minikazi back in for Dartmouth. It was a brief time on the floor for 22, Sierra Carson. Coach Sims played 9 players here in the first quarter. Page. That's going to come up well short, and Brown will get the final 28 seconds if they so wish, 27 and a half. Carson right back in for Minikazi.
A little offensive, defensive substitutions. Carson, typically a defensive stopper, and Minikazi a little more offensive-minded.
Plenty of time as Arnoley works against Carson. Brown will kick it back. Powell against Page. Flips it up, no good. Arik. There's 6 seconds for Dartmouth. 5. Page to midcourt with 3, with 2, and the long heave is partially blocked. Actually, Dartmouth came up with the ball underneath, and Caden McDonald might have had an opportunity to score it, but it doesn't go, and Dartmouth winds up with a big lead here at the end of 1 quarter of play. Dartmouth and Brown
Weeks ago, and
Brown just goes 2 for 14 shooting in the first quarter. Dartmouth 4 for 14. Dartmouth leads by 8.
I think the stat right now is rebounding. It's 14-8 in favor of Dartmouth, and they've limited Brown to only 2 offensive boards.
The kick out for Isabella Mauricio comes up short. Mackenzie Leahy, junior from Illinois, is in the starting lineup. 22 for Brown here in quarter 2. Page for Dartmouth. Gives for Eldridge. Back to Page. Can't leave her open out there. But this one no good. Bring it up. Dartmouth on a 4-game homestand that will continue next weekend. Check the schedules for you a little bit later on, but Dartmouth will play 6 o'clock here Friday night against Cornell, 5 o'clock on Saturday against Columbia next week. And Columbia, a legit threat to win the Ivy League this year for sure.
They're the only undefeated team in the Ivy League so far.
Penn is at Columbia this afternoon. The top 3 all would likely win today. Harvard is home to Yale. Princeton is at Cornell. And then this is the 4th game. That's the battle for the teams tied for 4th place. Top 4 go to the Ivy Madness tournament. And a shot at the NCAA automatic bid. 8 on the clock. Moreland, nice pass. Down low. The finish for Olivia Young. She'll get to the line.
Really nice disciplined basketball by Brown there. They took their time. They waited for the right opportunity. They moved the ball. It reversed several times, and then they finally found Young on the back door.
Foul goes to Olivia Austin, who is now wearing 34 for Dartmouth. Her normal number is 12. It is a 3-point play for Olivia Young, her first points of the game, and the lead for Dartmouth is trimmed to 5 at 13-8. Second quarter in Hanover, New Hampshire on a Saturday afternoon. Ozell hit 2 threes to open the game for Dartmouth, giving them the first 6 points of the game. Ozell goes back to Austin. They look inside, and Brown able to knock it away, and that was Young, who is playing with 2 fouls for Brown, who got in there and knocked it away.
Well, after that free throw, Brown showing a full court 1-2-2 press. We'll see if they stay in the zone that they were in.
Austin on the catch. McDonald Eldridge. Page is open here on the near side at the elbow, and Dartmouth's long attempt did not beat the buzzer, shot clock violation. Or in any event, the ball didn't hit the rim. So 8:09 to go in the second, and a chance for Brown to chip away a little bit more. Dartmouth led by 8 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, we saw a change in defense there. Brown's now looking to play a little bit of zone to change the tempo. So already we're seeing a little bit of Dartmouth getting flustered. We'll see if they can get it back together and get some composure.
And a backcourt violation there. Brown now just 3 for 16 shooting in the game. Dartmouth would love to create a little separation off of that. McDonald. No point trying to get it to Austin. She's not open. Ozell no good there. Rebound for Brown. Dartmouth is 4 for 16 shooting. This is Young looking for 3. Brown's got it. And Brown has single-handedly brought the Bears from down 8 to down 2 with 6 points. Olivia Young on the year with now 33 made three-pointers. That is the most on the Brown team, so watch 5. Ozell caromed off of her hand trying to save it at the end line, and Brown can tie or take the lead here for the first time in the game. And Young will travel with it over on the far side. 7 turnovers each way. Nina Minikazi in for Dartmouth, 15 Beth Nelson in for Brown. 6:54 to go in the second. Dartmouth 13, Brown 11.
Bob, the big change for me is Brown has clearly raised their intensity on defense. They've picked up, they're looking for steals. They've created a little bit of chaos. Dartmouth had it way too easy early on. They were executing and running their stuff. Now they're a little more rushed, so those shots aren't falling quite like they did. But of course, I say that, and Eldridge drains a 3.
First points in about 5 minutes for Dartmouth, and it's another three-pointer. 4 of the 5 field goals for the Big Green have been 3-point field goals in this game. 6:20 left in the first half. Dartmouth by 5. And that'll be Dartmouth ball. Oh, yeah, it should be Dartmouth ball. Yeah. I think the official down there, Zoe Young, was just looking for some confirmation that that ball was not tipped by the Big Green. Ozell up for McDonald. Back to Ozell. Went left, went right, comes back to Nina Minikazi, who's then bottled up. The possession arrow is still with Dartmouth, but a strong defensive play for the Bears.
Again, that leaves 12 seconds left on the shot clock for Dartmouth to get a really good look at the basket.
Ozell had a screen from Minikazi, no good. And out of bounds, last touch by Dartmouth. Victoria Page's brief stint on the bench for the Big Green is over as she returns to the floor. Page with 4 points. Downs Arnoley, who within the next week or so will be a 1,000-point scorer. It's 9:46 coming into today. Nelson, swing it right side to Arnoley. It's from Vienna, Virginia. This is Nelson's 3, no good. And a rebound, let's see, loose on the floor, picked up by the Bears. They'll get credit for it. Back up top, Moreland on the drive.
It's the offensive boards. And then Moreland did a really nice job taking it strong to the hoop.
Offensive rebound and hoop for Brown. Halfway through quarter 2 in Hanover. Minikazi. Back to Austin. Fighting her way inside. No good. But a foul with 2 on the shot clock, and that foul on Olivia Young is going to be her third personal foul. Dartmouth will get to the line next on Nesson. 5 field goals, shooting percentages not high. Dartmouth 5 for 18, 28%. Brown 5 for 19, 26%.
And Austin at the free throw line made a really heady play to get there. Basically 2 seconds left, just took it in and attacked the rim.
Austin has really struggled from the free throw line this year. Gets the second one to go. And the Dartmouth lead is 4-17-13. Mauricio for Brown, for Nelson. And we're going to travel. 9 turnovers on Brown in the first half. We had talked about limiting turnovers both ways. There have been a lot of them here in the first half.
And particularly travels. We've seen a lot of that recently. Again, the officials trying to clean up the happy feet.
Far side, Nina Minakazi.
And that's what she's in for. Coach Sims loves to bring her off the bench. She's a great shooter. She's that offensive spark.
Dartmouth up to 5 made 3-point field goals, 15 of their 20 points from behind the arc. Here they're early going. Arnoley for Brown. Far side shot good, and Brown answers with a 3-pointer by the freshman Gia Powell.
Powell averaging 9.7 points per game, and can't forget about her. She is a great shooter.
And now Brown gets the ball right back. Mauricio on the kick through trying to get it to Nelson was a little off balance, and they lost the ball out of bounds. I should point out Powell, who comes off of the bench for Brown, also is an excellent 3-point shooter. Well, maybe not a high percentage one, but she makes a lot of them. 2016.
Well, like I said before, this Brown team averages 28 3-point attempts per game. So that's a lot of threes.
Myers wide open underneath for her first bucket. Dartmouth by 9, biggest lead of the game.
You gotta love it. The ball barely touched the floor. Boom, 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 passed right through that press.
It's actually a 6-point lead, 22-16. Inside, and a foul will go against Olivia Austin. It'll be her second. Both clubs are playing without players today, but significant for Brown is Gianna Aiello, senior from Matawan, New Jersey, a center, is out. And I think Dartmouth had thought that she might be back for the game today, so must be close.
That's right, and she definitely impacts the game. 6'5", length would match up well with either Claire Meyer or Dorina Reek, who are in the game both right now. That's a lot of length.
Alyssa Moreland knocks down 2 free throws. The lead is 4, 22-18 in favor of the Big Green as we approach 3 minutes to go in the first half. Relatively quiet first half for Victoria Page, who's 1 for 7 and 0 for 6 from 3-point range. Rest of the team's 5 for 9. There's another travel. Give it back to the Bears. Dartmouth by 4. Key Ivy League contest early on. Inside, catch made, Moreland for 2. She has 8. And it's now 22-20.
And Moreland, the junior from Beverly, Mass, only 5'11", but boy, does she use her strength and power inside against those taller post players.
Outside Minakazi was on target, but a little long. Meyer gets an offensive rebound. Eldridge on the drive underneath in trouble and loses it out of bounds. Back to Brown. Bears have not led in this game. Sierra Carson back in the game with the Big Green forward, Nina Minakazi.
Again, you see the different matchups that Coach Simoneau is putting in to guard and to make sure that Arnalee isn't left open and that she can't get comfortable. Again, she's averaging 14.9 points per game. It's so important to keep her in check.
Moreland trying to fight her way in against Meyer. Gives to Arnalee, underneath, no good. Rebound, Meyer for the big green. Page flashes into the front court with it. Meyer, a pull-up from the free throw line. Arik in there to get the rebound, gets fouled. It's not a shooting foul.
No, Mauricio snuck under. You're seeing now when the shot comes off, Arik brings it down a little bit. Mauricio was hoping to tie it up, but came down on Arik's arms.
Actually, I'll call Beth Nelson, who was also right there with the foul, her first. Dartmouth gets a fresh 20. Off Meyer's hands. Arnalee the other way. On the drive, kicks back but threw it into the hands of Meyer. 11 turnovers each way in the first half.
Well, we talked about that being important. Both teams really getting their pockets picked and traveling. Mauricio there with a really nice steal.
Nelson will go to the line off the pass from Mauricio after the turnover at the other end. Brown at the line for the year, 74%. And on the drive, Nelson will get to the line. Free throw shooter, 15 of 18, 83%. Beth looking for her first point, and that's no good. Brown will be home in Providence next weekend to play Penn and Princeton. Double miss. That's the ultimate broadcaster jinx, right? She's been 15 for 18. Under a minute. Page will send Ozell through. Long kick through Eldridge. Ozell wants Meyer to help screen. Pull up from Ozell. Rebound Mauricio, and a Dartmouth foul in the backcourt. And that will be on Zeynep Ozell, her first. And Brown will have another opportunity here to see if they can get even. Powell will be confronted at midcourt by Page and Carson. Brown, about a 6-second differential, shot clock and game clock. See it there, lower corner. Arnalee looks back to Coach LeBlanc. 10 on the shot clock now. Page right there. Arnalee to the free throw line. Pull up with the right hand. No good. And an offensive foul. A push-off will be her second foul.
What an incredible job defensively by Page to keep her hands off as Arnalee was driving, but keep her in front, and then just kind of absorb that contact when Arnalee pushed off.
10 seconds left in the first half. Mina Tate into the game for Dartmouth, and she's another three-point shooter. Dartmouth will push it across. Eldridge calls out the play. Eldridge pulls up from 14. It's short, and their offensive rebound. No, Dartmouth doesn't get the ball. Brown does, and the half will end at that point. A lot of opportunities there at the end of the first half where neither club could knock the ball into the basket.
As advertised, a great game, 2 points.
This game was 22-20 with 2:41 left in the first half, and we stayed
but
out.
But that's going to be key. Brown wants to play fast. They want to push the ball. They want to get points in transition.
And they have 3 fast break points in the first half.
That's
so Dartmouth
right.
did a good job there, limiting a Brown squad that averages 64 a game to 20 in the first half. And a top priority maybe for the Big Green and Coach Sim?
Well, they've got to continue to do the exact opposite in terms of tempo. They want to keep Brown slowed down in transition. They have to take care of the ball. So especially they've got to limit live ball turnovers because that's what Brown really wants to live off of. So, and I think they also have to get Victoria Page going.
Dartmouth, one of the least penalized teams in the nation. And that has played out here. Nobody in foul trouble for Dartmouth. Olivia Young, 3 for Brown, and she's involved in the very first possession of the first half for Brown, and they didn't get into their offense and turned it over.
They got a great wide open backdoor cut there, but she couldn't hold on to it.
So back we come the other way. Coach Sim getting the play to Ozell. Now Meyer posted high, back to Zeynep. 13 on the clock. Again, Dartmouth being very patient, looking for the good shot. Eldridge, that was not the shot.
I think the Brown player got a piece of it. I don't know if they're going to call it to, yep.
They did get that. So Dartmouth only has 5 seconds. Coach Simino asking for an explanation, but you had it right. It was just a blocked shot. Page with 3, with 2, with 1. There's no time. Got to shoot it. That got it. Wow.
Claire Meyer
made me nervous.
With the nice mid-range.
A couple of field goals for Claire Meyer. Dartmouth by 4, 24-20. Austin will come out and pick up Nelson at half court. Moreland for open 3. Short. Loose ball goes to Dartmouth. And that one won't go for Eldridge. Moreland, by the way, has not made a three-pointer all year. Far side Young, she definitely has. Comes back to Arnoley. Brown, Moreland underneath, and a foul on Eldridge for the big green. And this will be 2 shots.
Smart play. They recognize the mismatch right away. We're going to see it right here coming up. Oh, maybe we won't.
Minakazi back into the game here for Dartmouth. Moreland on the year 52% from the line, but she made her first 2. Second one is good. Moreland has 9, and that leads all scorers in the game. You heard a little rattling behind me. This is youth basketball day in Hanover. Ozell, back to Minakazi. Nina out of Belmont, Mass. Page had the screen and knocks it down.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to get Page involved early. What a really nice step back behind the ball screen.
Arnoley the other way, no good. Dartmouth has the rebound. They thought about breaking out, but Brown clearly got back, prompting Olivia Austin to pull it out, and Dartmouth will set it up with a 6-point lead, 7:45 to go in the third. 2-2 clubs in the Ivy. Page, and there's an offense. Oh, of course it goes down. Claire Meyer for an illegal screen. That's the second one that she's been called for.
Meyer
they've been looking for that, officials have, for the last couple of years.
Yeah, Meyer just rolling a little early, catching the defender.
Moreland guarded by Meyer. Played some strong minutes in this one. Tough shot for Arnoley. We'll get another try. May have been fouled, but Meyer will foul Moreland. And Claire now commits her 3rd personal, 2nd here in this quarter. So Alyssa Moreland, the junior from Beverly, Mass, will go back to the line. As Meyer gives way to Kate McDonald for the big green.
And Moreland's really been the bright spot for this Bear squad so far. She's doing such a good job keeping them in this ball game from the inside. And We know that Brown likes to shoot it from behind the arc. They haven't been particularly successful today.
27-22. Couple of free throws here in the second half for Alyssa Moreland. They don't have a field goal yet here in the third. Ozell as Brown steps up the pressure. Page. Dartmouth fights for the rebound. Minikazi has it underneath and a Brown foul. Now this is big. If it's on 5, it's not. It's on 11. Alyssa Moreland, but Olivia Young was right there as well. That would have been her 4th personal. Ozell feeds McDonald. First went to her left, came back the other way and put it in. First field goal for the sophomore.
That's a textbook dribble drop move.
Dartmouth by 7. Young pushing her way in on McDonald. Got it. 8 for Olivia Young. First field goal of the second half for Brown. 29-24. Dartmouth men playing in Providence as we speak, down 12 at the half, 52-40. It's a big game for the Dartmouth men. They're fighting for a top upper half standing slot. Catch inside Austin, back out McDonald, 3, good.
I want everybody to notice how well Dartmouth just took it down, took their time, reversed it 2 times. It almost takes the wind out of Brown's defense.
Arnoley able to get it. McDonald didn't even rush the 3-pointer, took time to line that up.
Arnoley, really nice step-through move there to get to the free throw line. But in that last play, I mean, that's by design. They slowed it down. They almost lulled Brown to sleep there off defensively, and they moved it and found the wide open shot by McDonald. I think that's really where they know they have to play, in that type of tempo.
Dartmouth breaks the pressure. Foul was on Victoria Page. The free throw by Arnoley makes this a 5-point game, 32-27. Nina Minikazi drives and scores.
Great finish over Moreland as she came over to help.
The fact that Dartmouth's made 7 3-pointers, I think, has really helped as Arnoley gets an answer the other way. Tempo definitely picking up, 34-29. Dartmouth has outscored Brown 10-9 here in the third. Here's Victoria Page. Minikazi saves it and threw it, and nope, she was stepped out of bounds. So it'll be back over to the Bears. Eldridge back in for the big green. Give Victoria Page a rest. 5:05 left in the third. Dartmouth by 5, 34-29. Arnoley has 5 points here in this third quarter. Up top with it is Moreland. Kicks back to Arnoley. Path cleared for her, and she'll get the bucket.
We talked about getting Victoria Page going for Dartmouth in this second half. Well, Brown has finally gotten Arnoley going, and she has been really effective getting to the hoop.
And with Victoria Page on the bench here, let's see what Dartmouth decides to do half-court-wise. Ozell gets the 14-footer. Oh, it went down and came back out. And Ozell landed a little funny after taking that shot. She was off balance. They'll help her up. We'll take the break. Dartmouth 34 to a one-possession game again, 34-31.
Well, it's been just a great matchup. Both teams doing a nice job prepping. I mean, after you've played someone once, you know what to prepare for. It's a little game of chess between these two coaches.
Two experienced coaches with a lot of wins between them. Here's Young. Oh, it rattled out on her, and an offensive rebound for Moreland, giving Brown a second chance. Ball will go to the floor. The possession arrow is to Dartmouth. Wow. Brown looking for a foul. I think you're getting Beth Nelson chatting with our lead official, Whitney Armstrong, down underneath there.
Brown continuing to pick up the pressure. Some full court. 1-2-2.
Page for the big green. Back in off of the timeout. Page kicks in the corner. Kazi right into the three and drains it, her second of the game.
Minikazi with such a quick release on that. Victoria Page drew so much attention, was able to get that pass off. Beautiful basketball.
8 for Minikazi, 2 3-point field goals. Dartmouth has just not allowed Brown to get much of a three-point look today, have they? Arnoley inside. Boy, somehow that found its way. 12 for Grace Arnoley, 37-33. The Dartmouth lead is 4.
Well, they're not shooting the ball from the outside particularly well, but Moreland and Arnoley have been dominating inside. They've got 18 points now from the paint.
Bad pass. That'll go over. The first time these teams played, Dartmouth took 11 threes, Brown 29. Today, Dartmouth has taken 20 and Brown has taken 10. 37-33. Dartmouth's coming out to defend the three. Brown's trying to pound it inside. Steal. Nice defense by Olivia Austin, the first-year player from Western Springs, Illinois. 2:20 to go in the third. Eldridge into the lane. Try to step back and force the ball down low, and eventually it goes out of bounds over to the Bears.
Again, both teams had empty possessions. I would love to see, I think Brown right now has got to focus on getting the ball to Arnoley. She's made things happen. The last 3 possessions, she's had the basketball in her hands.
Moreland inside against Austin scores. A dozen for Alyssa Moreland, and it's a 2-point game, 37-35. Moreland came in averaging 5.6 points per game, 5.8 rebounds. She has 10 and 8, just off a double-double. Page for the big green feeds McDonald. Eldridge to the free throw line, goes behind her back, gives for McDonald, ducks under the pressure. Dartmouth with 9 on the clock. Eldridge works her way on the right side with 5. Eldridge to the line with 2, with 1, leans in right hand, no good. Rebound, Brown. And here come the Bears again, a chance to tie. Powell gives to Arnoley on the far side. Young is open, Brown for the lead, no good. And Brown's been knocking at the door a couple of times now, and they just cannot get it even. Last minute of the third. Foul Brown will be on number 2, Gia Powell. Her first. Board showing 2 fouls on Brown in the quarter, 4 on Dartmouth. Page. Low, Austin no, rebound, Brown, and a Dartmouth foul.
Moreland really, really strong there in that board. That was a huge get.
So by blowing the whistle there, it's a 5th foul on Dartmouth's Nina Minikazi. Well, I'm not sure that wasn't a foul on Moreland in the defensive action, but she makes the play and goes back to the free throw line. Brown 6 of 11. They've missed 5 free throws in the game. Moreland, it's 1 out of 2. She has a game high 13, and now it's a 1-point game, 37-36. Dartmouth and Brown both have scored 15 points here in this quarter. Brown has scored 17 to 15. And we have a foul off on the side. Third foul on Grace Arnoley. So Arnoley and Olivia Young both now playing with 3 fouls. Dartmouth led by 2 at the break, 22-20.
Coach LeBlanc subbing for, I believe, Nelson.
Page. Minikazi a 3. Austin with a rebound. She wants to go back up strong and missed it. Brown with a possession here at the end of the third quarter to try to take the lead for the first time. 37-36 Dartmouth. Arnoley guarded by Page. We're down to 10 seconds. Arnoley with 6. Arnoley with 4. In trouble, Mauricio with 1. Heaves it up and it's no good. And Brown unable to get to Dartmouth, but they're knocking at the door real close. Battle for 4th place in the Ivy League. Dartmouth 37, Brown 36. We played. Fourth quarter coming up. Dartmouth 37, Brown 36. We got a good one today. Start of the fourth quarter. Page and Austin, McDonald, Eldridge, Minikazi for the Big Green. Dartmouth has made 13 field goals in the game on 39 tries, but 8 of them have been from 3. That's on Page. Mauricio drew the offensive foul.
That was surprising.
Oh, I'm
to
sorry,
me.
it's on McDonald, not on Page.
Okay. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah. Back the other way. Brown had a possession right at the end of the third quarter, didn't score. Mauricio gives for Arnoley. Arnoley's been the scorer today. She'll drive in, no good. Arnoley with a rebound. Kicks it back out. Powell again. Brown for the lead. Rattles out. Another try. Inside by Moreland. Good and 1. And now Brown leads for the first time today. 38-37.
Moreland's having a tremendous game today. She was one of the bright spots in the first half, and she is continuing on in this second half. Not only on the boards, just being strong inside, finishing around the basket against much taller post play inside from Dartmouth.
Dorena Reek in. Moreland makes the free throw. 16 gives her a career high in terms of points. At 15 earlier this year against Johnson and Wales on December the 3rd. Actually, that was last season. 39-37, the Bear lead is one. It's an 8-0 run right now for Brown. Dartmouth, it's 1 and out. Bears bring it up. Mauricio. Hounded up top by Page. Arik came over to help. Far side, Powell. Step back, now wants to drive. Shot no good. Arik with the rebound for Dartmouth. Her 4th rebound in about 6 minutes of play. 8:38 left, fourth quarter. Dartmouth trails by 2 at home. Dartmouth won the first meeting between these teams, 64-48. Page is off the mark. Rebound off Doreen Arik, and it'll be Brown ball. Claire Meyer has 4 personal fouls as 25 comes back onto the floor for Dartmouth. Brown a little smaller. Dartmouth matches up that way. Isabella Mauricio, the senior from Pleasanton, California. Kicks over to Powell. Back it comes Moreland. And a Dartmouth foul down low. That's Myers, 5th. she's been disqualified.
Mauricio's been pretty quiet today. She averages 8 points per game. She has not scored yet today, but looking to get her going in this fourth quarter.
So Coach Simoneau will send Olivia Austin back into the game. 8:12 to go, and Dartmouth down 2. Brown trying to extend the run. Moreland inside, scores.
Not much to say except she is having a great day. She is feeling it.
Dartmouth's got to find some offense here. Page back to McDonald. Usually we'll start with Victoria Page. Here's Eldridge. Draws the attention near side on the baseline. Back to McDonald, 7 on the clock. Page with 5 and a foul on Brown. On Mauricio, it'll be her second. So you get a coach, look at Coach Linda Simoneau, second season as the Gail Koziara Boudreau 82 and family head coach.
During the break, in between quarters, Coach Sim went up to Olivia Austin and gave her a big hug to try and build her confidence up.
Another screen foul, this one on Ozell. Dartmouth is up to 4 personal fouls here in the fourth quarter.
Coach Sim just trying to will her team and get their confidence up because she knows how important it is for them to be able to feel good shooting the basketball and finishing.
2 shots as Eldridge commits the foul for Dartmouth. Watch Arnoley. And although Eldridge had her hands up, she moved the hand down and it caught Arnoley in the face.
And Arnoley is just so savvy getting to the rim. She was able to get her kind of elbow around Eldridge. And she knows how to properly position herself to get the most of the call.
And now all of a sudden Brown has run out to a 6-point lead. They have a 12-0 run going on Dartmouth here. 43-37 Brown. Dartmouth has not scored yet here in the fourth quarter. 7:11 to go. Minikazi for 3. That'll stop it.
She's having a great game. Nina Minikazi coming off the bench, providing that offensive spark that Dartmouth desperately needs right now.
3 of 5 from three-point range, 11 points for Minikazi. Travel, Dartmouth gets the ball back.
I thought that travel was on Mauricio, but they called it a little bit after the fact.
Big Green will bring it up. Dartmouth led by Nina Minikazi's 8 points. 7 for Victoria Page, who has the ball now. Minikazi was right elbow. Back to Austin up top. 15 feet out. Page. Minikazi back to McDonald. Drives in. Rebound Austin and a foul. Brown. Be the 4th foul on Olivia Young for Brown. Get another look at it here as McDonald goes in. Or rather, Olivia Austin. Brown substitutes with Beth Nelson back into the game. Starter today for the first time this year. Eldridge. Arnoley slipped there. Eldridge wanted to take advantage of it. 5 on the clock. Minikazi a 3-pointer. No, but fouled in the act of shooting the 3 by Gia Powell, and Nina Minikazi will go to the line.
Well, Gia Powell, freshman guard. That's something that certainly, as a coach, You got to pull her aside and say you cannot foul the three-point shooter.
Minikazi's first is good. She had only been 3 for 6 on the year from the line. You add in last year's total, 65% free throw shooter. She made 70% from the line last year. Can she knock down all 3 and draw us even? Needs one more. Dartmouth plays Cornell here in Hanover Friday night. Columbia here late Saturday afternoon next week. And we're all even. 43-43, 6:03 to go. Arnoley takes the basketball, be guarded up here by Eldridge. Under 6 to go, 5:54. Arnoley fouled.
I think everyone knew in the gym, knew that Arnoley was planning to get to the basket one way or another.
Nina Minikazi on the foul. Arnoley, over her career, 74.3% from the line. 15 points tonight, 961 in her 3 years at Brown. Had a 35-point game against Yale a couple weeks ago. She makes both. And a timeout here with the score, Brown 45, Dartmouth 43. Take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the Ivy League on Nesson right after these messages. Brown, good fourth quarter going here, taking the lead for the first time here in the fourth.
Seeing some soft full court pressure from Dartmouth women. Haven't seen that today yet.
Arnoley, inside move and a foul. Be the third on Alexandra Eldridge. Good move inside. Decided to reverse her direction. Eldridge was looking the other way, and on the cutback committed the foul. Arnoley on the day, 16 points. It's now a perfect 6 for 6 from the line today.
Also 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Not a bad stat line.
Lead is 5 for the Bears at 50-45. Offense-defense substitution as Olivia Young leaves the floor for Brown, playing with 4 personal fouls, but in the offensive end is needed. Now Dartmouth. Page tried to force it into Eldridge, saved by McDonald. Minikazi, step back 3, didn't have the shot, didn't take it, 10 on the clock. Minikazi on the drive, tried to kick it through into the lane. Dartmouth has turned it over, and Brown comes up with the ball with 3:48 left. Brown 50, Dartmouth 45. They want it in Arnoley's hands. Kick out. Mauricio's three-pointer is her first field goal of the game.
We talked about Mauricio being a little quiet today. Finally, in 3 minutes left, decides to drain one, and we knew that was possible. We're going to see it right here. Again, Arnoley withdrawing that attention inside and then kicking it out to Mauricio for the wide open 3.
Mauricio on the year has now made 25 three-pointers. They have 4 different players who have made 25 or more threes. That's a big part of their game.
That's right, and you look at that last play, and that's exactly what Brown wants to do. Arnoley gets the ball inside, draws all the attention, and then the shooters are waiting on the outside for the kickouts.
Brown has now scored more points in the fourth quarter than they have in any of the quarters today. They've gone 5, 15, 16, 17.
And I think that's exactly the point. Is right now they're doing what they do best, and they're playing their game. And Moreland has been outstanding. Arnoley is going to do what she does.
Minakazi gets fouled. The fourth on Grace Arnoley. Some concern there for sure if you're a Brown fan, but there are just 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. This will be shooting foul for Minakazi.
Minakazi's been such a bright spot for Dartmouth today. 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. 15 points.
Looking for point 16. 53-47. So after Brown opens its biggest lead of the game, Dartmouth answers with a couple of free throws. They'll go full court pressure on Brown. Minakazi steals. McDonald will lay it in. Timeout, Coach LeBlanc, as Dartmouth gets 4 quick points. 2 free throws, a steal, and a field goal. Minakazi with a steal, finds Kate McDonald able to knock it in. 53-49 in favor of the Bears. 3:06 to play in the fourth quarter. What's at stake here? Both teams came in tied for 4th place in the Ivy League. The top 4 teams at the end of the regular season will qualify for Ivy Madness and have a shot at the NCAA automatic berth that goes to the Ivy League tournament. For Dartmouth, they have not played in that, in Ivy Madness.
And with 3 minutes left, every possession is so important. And you can be sure both coaches are going to use the timeouts that they have left strategically after scores to be able to advance the ball to half court. We're seeing full court pressure right now. Dartmouth looking to capitalize and create some turnovers. Weren't able to do it there with Moreland, another easy bucket. She's at 20 points and 12 boards.
Had to handle the hard pass from Mauricio, but that does go, assist and bucket. 55-49. Moreland career high 20. 2:38 to go. Minakazi squares the 3, rattles out. Can Dartmouth get to the ball? No, Brown has it. Dartmouth trying to press, and Brown able to throw it into the front court where Arnoley will reel it in. 2:23 left. Brown, a bucket here would be huge. They lead by 6, 55-49. Brown did not lead until the first points of this fourth quarter. That is on Arnoley, who's now done 5 fouls. That's a big call.
Was a huge momentum changer. Look at this.
Page got there, and maybe just a split second in time.
And I know that Coach LeBlanc certainly does not agree with the officials on that call. That's huge, Bob.
Grace Arnoley, 18 points, is now fouled out of the game. You mentioned it before. Going through her numbers, 7 of 7 from the line, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. A great day.
And not only that, just their leader. And the ball is in her hands anytime the shot clock is running down or there's an important situation. She finds people, she scores it, she makes great decisions.
And Zozelle no good. Brown with a rebound. So I think their offense now turns to Isabella Mauricio, right? Let's see, here's Nelson on the drive, no good. Rebound Moreland, no, foul before the putback.
I think that's Minakazi who was trying to box Moreland underneath the basket and on her way down from corralling the ball was fouled. So she'll go to the free throw line now, and she has had such a great day.
Alyssa Moreland back at the line. 6 out of 9 from the free throw line. It's a double-double for her, 20 and 13. Not 21 and 13. Huge game.
We talked about the fact that Brown's biggest post player was out, and that they have some smaller players playing, but Moreland certainly doesn't play small.
Eldridge couldn't get the three to drop for Dartmouth. Rebound Brown, and another foul. Moreland's 21 points a career high. The 13 rebounds also matches her career high for most rebounds in a game. Third year in the program.
I think Dartmouth right now, if they want to get close and get back into a situation where they can tie it up, they've got to go look for quick twos. And what they've been doing is shooting threes. They've got to get to the rim. They've got to get quick twos and get to the free throw line to have the clock work in their favor.
All right, double miss, which means it's still just a 56-49 game. Timeout Dartmouth. 3-possession game, but timeout for the Big Green. Coach Sim will still have 2 left after this. Tough one on Monday. Dartmouth fell by 3 to Yale, which snapped a 15-game losing streak, and the Big Green hoping to turn things around at home against Brown, a club that they beat a couple weeks ago. But this game just as important for both teams. Isabella Mauricio has got to 1,000 points in her last game and drains her first bucket of the ball game, a 3-pointer.
And we just saw Tahira Muhammad go to the table to sub in for Dartmouth. She has not yet played today, but Coach Sim clearly looking for some offense. Muhammad can get to the rim. She can shoot the 3 for some quick scoring opportunities. We'll see what they run here, if they're going for 2 or 3. They certainly have the time if they can get some valuable possession, clock management.
They pinch down on Ozell, who gives up the basketball. Brown's Mauricio will be fouled. 4 on Eldridge. Mauricio going to the free throw line for Brown. 16 out of 19 on the year. 1:16 left, Brown 56-49. Brown has outscored Dartmouth 20-12 here in the fourth quarter. If number 4 is not going to be the one you want to foul. Brown now shooting for its biggest lead of the game. And it's 58-49, plus 9 for the first time today. Page for Dartmouth. Minakazi, far side. Got to get some shots off there. You're down 9. Ozell, back to Page. Victoria for 3. Rebound McDonald. Goes right back in and gets fouled.
That's a great job by McDonald. Going up, getting fouled, stopping the clock, creating that extra possession.
Moreland's 3rd personal foul here. Put Kate McDonald at the line, but with 52 seconds left. Dartmouth starting to run out of possessions.
Yeah, they've got to get to that point a little quicker in the shot clock, or in the they spent too much time looking. Credit to Brown, they've played some pretty lockdown defense.
2 are good. 58-51. Timeout. Dartmouth has Cornell and Columbia here next weekend.
It's also alumni weekend, so we'll see some of the greats that wore the big green come back to cheer on Dartmouth and celebrate some of their accomplishments.
We get them to play an alumni game. It'd be kind of fun to watch.
I think they were talking about it. I'm not sure where they ended up.
Brown will have Penn on Friday, Princeton on Saturday. The men's game still showing tied, 2:20 to go, 80-80 in Providence between Dartmouth and Brown. Both teams playing at 2 o'clock today. Brown to inbound, they advance on the timeout. Mauricio fouled in the corner. And Isabella Mauricio, the senior, goes back to the line. Did not score in the first 3 quarters today. This would give her 7 on the game, and Brown leads by 9, 60-51, 50 seconds left. Page, and that is no good. Foul on Beth Nelson for Brown. And you have to play defense.
Yeah, Victoria Page again doing the smart thing and drawing that foul and really going into that contact. But you gotta just look back a little bit at Alyssa Moreland's stat line and think that she came into this game and she was truly the difference maker.
Page has 9. Still a 7-point lead. They break the press. Young now will kick it back and get fouled. It's on Victoria Page.
Arnoley and Moreland were unstoppable today, and Brown's game plan, the way they took Victoria Page out of the game, they did a masterful job. After Page coming off a 29-point effort last week versus Yale.
Young will push it up. Brown had 20 points at halftime. 42 now in the second half. A lot of them come from the line, though. Timeout Dartmouth in a 62-53 game. Brown has 16 points in the second half from the free throw line. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage today. Thank Ian Maluski, our producer.
Interesting to note, the first time these two teams played at Brown, Dartmouth beat Brown 64-48. So close to being the reverse on each other's home courts.
Brown's been looking forward to this matchup. Didn't have their best game a couple of weeks ago. They're going to even the season series with Dartmouth, barring some kind of big surprise now. Minakazi into a 3. Gets her own rebound. Turn around and fire another one. No good. Dartmouth rebound inside. Mohammed gets the bucket. Dartmouth will press and foul. 27 seconds left. 7-point game. 62-55.
And this is where free throws make such a difference.
Foul on Tahira Mohammed. Free throw shooter Isabella Mauricio. It's been calm as can be, knocked down all 4 of her free throws already here in this fourth quarter. Brown is 15 out of 18 from the line in the fourth quarter.
That's a lot of free throws.
Yeah. They make both. 64-55. Page for Dartmouth. She going to take the three? And she'll dribble in and go for the two. No good. Muhammad is fouled. Hit on the head. And the foul on Olivia Young will be her fifth, and she'll be disqualified.
Nice job to Tahira Muhammad boxing out, ripping that down.
It's fun to kind of watch Monique LeBlanc coach because she is as calm as can be almost through any scenario. We watch some coaches certainly get a lot more animated, but Monique, not that way.
She got a little animated when Arnoley fouled out.
On the officials, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one play she did.
That was the one time I saw her really just question and get a little upset.
Brown by 9. Mohammed makes one. Brown will use a timeout here. Again, advance the ball with 16.5 to go. And the Bears look like they'll be the team that gets to 500, 9-9, move above 500 in the league at 3-2. And Dartmouth would fall to 8-10 and 2-3 in the Ivy League. But again, this is just game 5 out of 14 in league play. Still have a lot to do.
That's right, and there's always you can look at the schedule coming up and say, okay, that should be a win, that should be a loss, or however it should shake out, but it never shakes out the way you think that it's going to shake out. There's between the travel, academic schedules, all of those things come into play, and injuries, of course. There's just so many things that can happen between now and March when Ivy Madness happens. It's being hosted this year by Brown at the Pizzatola Center in Providence.
Finals today. Columbia 79, Penn 54. This is women's play. Princeton 62, Cornell 54, Harvard 91, Yale 35. Wow. Here we go. Brown has battled through adversity today. We're going to get the win. Final 10 seconds of this one. Dartmouth will push into the corner, try to tie up Gia Powell. They do get the basketball with 9.6 to play. Timeout, Coach Simino. Coach Simino will come over and join us for a brief conversation on Dartmouth hoops right after the game. Tough week for the Big Green.
Definitely. It's back-to-back games where they were in both. Definitely were in a position, especially last week versus Yale, losing by 3. But Coach Sim doing a masterful job in building this program. In her second year, 2 years ago, this team was not competitive, and now they're in the games and they know they can taste it. They're so close. So it's been fun to watch the progression. On the same side, Brown has been, and Coach LeBlanc has been building her program, has had a couple of years longer to do that.
Stat monitor showing Brown missing a three-pointer at the buzzer, and Dartmouth has won the men's game 84-83 in Providence. Here's Minikazi, trying to feed it inside, last touched by Brown. We'll try again with 7.2 left. Inbounds on the baseline. Minikazi, leading scorer today for Dartmouth with 16. Page shoots, that's no good. Rebound McDonald, tied up with 1.6 to go. Brown will get it, and they'll head back to Providence in a good mood tonight. Tough battle, we expected it. Almost everything looked even between these teams coming in. It was a pretty even game. Brown 64, Dartmouth 56. The final today. Alyssa Moreland, right, was the story. Career high 21 points, matches her career high with 13 rebounds.
An incredible performance from Moreland.